There's a saying that we must learn to crawl before we walk, and then walk before we run. Today I'm going to take you through a basics yoga class. In this basics yoga class, we'll learn to find the alignment, to build the foundation of our practice. We're going to start in child's pose. So in child's pose, you can bring your knees together and your hips back. And rest your forehead on the mat. Or you can bring the knees widespread and then lower the hips. And again, resting that third eye on the mat. It's here in child's pose that begin to draw the breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Our yoga practice is bridging the connection, integrating the breath, the body, and the mind. So as you deepen your breath, maybe you make it audible. So as you make it audible, it restrict the back of the throat. And then you're ready. Walk your hands up towards your body. So we're going to find all fours. The shoulders stack over the wrists, the hips over the knees, and you lengthen from the crown of the head out the tailbone. Pull the ribs and pull the belly in. Push through the mat. On a nice big inhale, those right fingertips are going to go towards the ceiling and follow the gaze. And then thread that right hand underneath the left. As you do that, the right shoulder comes to the mat, the right ear to the mat, and then this left hand can reach out towards the top of the mat. Or you can find a bind. The bind is this left hand slipping around the low back, and then it falls to the inside of the right thigh, and you roll the left shoulder open. Find a few breaths here. Noticing the sensations of the body. Stay centered. Staying with the breath. And as you plant that left hand back to the mat, go ahead and inhale, right fingertips back up towards the ceiling. And as this right hand finds its way back to the mat, go ahead and inhale, left fingertips towards the ceiling. And thread it underneath the right. So this time, the left shoulder to the mat, the left ear to the mat. And then the right hand now can sweep around the low back, falling inside the left thigh. And then you can roll that right shoulder open. Finding length with the breath. Allowing your body to open up. When you're ready, take a nice big inhale. Plant that right hand back to where it was. Inhaling, left fingertips back up towards the ceiling. And the left hand finds the right. So you're back onto all fours. You're going to walk your hands forward just a little bit, then curl the toes under, finding downward facing dog. Now, downward facing dog, we're looking for a long spine. So if you're tight and you feel your back start to round, bend the knees deep and stick your butt in the air so your chest starts to go towards the tops of your thighs. So you're looking for that long spine. And then if you have it in your practice, go ahead and straighten the legs. Feeling all 10 fingers on the mat, all 10 toes. You root down from the heel of the hand. Good, and gaze underneath that right armpit. And then underneath the left. As you bring that head back to neutral, go ahead and drop to your knees and find a child's pose. Inhaling onto all fours. Once more, curl the toes under, finding your downward facing dog. And then go ahead and nod your head yes. And then no. Finding length of the breath. So it's a full inhalation and a full exhalation. It begins to feel rhythmic. Drop into your knees, finding a child's pose. So you can keep the arms extended forward, or maybe bring them around and find your heels. On your next inhale, sweep the arms back to the front of the mat. Inhale onto all fours, curl the toes under, finding downward facing dog. Go ahead and gaze in between the thumbs and walk that left foot to the top of the mat, followed by the right. As you inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Now if your peace fingers make it to the mat, root down with your peace fingers. If you need some help with blocks or books or soup cans, you can root down here. Or if you want, you can bring your hands to your shins or up here towards your thighs. But if those peace fingers make it to the mat, root down with the peace fingers. Take a nice big inhale and exhale, forward fold. Rise with the breath with the arms above overhead. Follow the gaze. It's a full body experience. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Long spine, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Warming up the body. Plant the hands, step it back, high plank. So this high plank, the elbows are spiraling in so that the creases of the elbows are facing forward. You're pushing through the mat to fill out the space in between your shoulder blades. You're lengthening from the crown of the head out the tailbone. So we're going to go into a cobra first. So drop the knees. The gaze goes forward, the chest goes forward as the elbows go back as you lower down. Inhale into your cobra. You're pushing the tops of the feet into the mat. The crown of the head towards the front of the mat. And very light pressure on the hand. You're using the low back to lift you. So remember, it's a cobra. Snakes don't have arms. You're using the body to lift. Take a nice big inhale here and push back child's pose. So we're building the foundation. We're opening the muscles, finding the alignment. Take a nice big inhale. You're back onto all fours and curl the toes under, downward facing dog. As you gaze in between the thumbs, walk that right foot through, followed by the left. Inhaling halfway, lift long spine, and then exhale, forward fold. Rise with the breath, with the arms up overhead. Follow the gaze. Draw the hands to your heart, press the palms together. Long spine, forward fold. As you inhale, halfway lift. Go to plant those hands, step back to right, step back to the left. You're in that high plank. Spiral the crease of your elbows forward, engage your core, look forward. Drop your knees, chest goes forward, lengthen, lower down. Inhale to your cobra, Bhujangasana. So you'll notice on your cobra, the legs are on the mat. The hips are on the mat, The hands are on the mat. Now in our next one, we're going to go right into an up dog, and that alignment will change. Take a nice big inhale, push the hips back to child's pose. As you inhale back onto all fours, then curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Go ahead and gaze in between the thumbs, walk the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Use your breath. Exhale, forward fold. Rise on the inhale. Yoga is about the breath. Exhaling hands to your heart. Long spine, forward fold. As you inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, walk it back. Left goes back, right goes back. Creases of the elbows spiral towards the front of the mat. And then this time we're going to go into an up dog. So the gaze still goes forward. You bring the weight forward. This time the elbows go straight back. They hover the ribs. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Now in this one, the tops of the feet are on the mat and the hands. That's it. Take a nice big inhale. Curl the toes under. Downward facing dog. Go to bend your knees, find your child's pose. So what makes yoga different than calisthenics is the breath. It is that deep connection between the breath and the body. Draw the breath deeper into the body. But a nice big inhale, come up to all fours, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Go ahead and step that right foot through, followed by the left, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, forward fold. One more up dog. Rising with the breath, with the arms up overhead. Drawing the hands to your heart. Long spine, forward fold. As you inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step it back, high plank. Crease of the elbows spiral towards me, you lengthen. You gaze forward, you shift the weight forward, elbows go straight back, creating 90 degrees. You inhale, upward facing dog. Draw the shoulders down the back. Lift the chest forward. Take a nice big inhale, curl the toes under. Downward facing dog. On your next big inhale, walk the feet back in between the thumbs. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. This time we're going to rise with the breath and sink into the chair. Let's get asana. So the weight in the heels, that you feel this lift from right below the belly button, and you're pulling everything in and up. Like a jacket. But a nice big inhale here, draw the hands to your heart and take a twist to the right. Now this twist to the right, the hands come to the heart, the elbows stack, the shoulders stack. And spread your wings open. Take a nice big inhale here, bring the hands back to the heart, and the twist goes to the left. And again, you're stacking, and then spread your wings. As you inhale, hands to the heart, ribs to the thighs, deep forward fold. Now, your next inhale, we're going to step the right foot back. Before we lift, we're going to set up the foundation. So you can go heel to heel. That left knee stacks over the left ankle. And you inhale, rise with the breath. Pull the ribs in, pull the belly in. See if you can get your arms out of your peripheral vision. So right here you have a square hip. If you were to grab your hips, You feel that right hip going forward and the left pulling back. You feel your right pinky toe on the mat as well. Take a nice big inhale, open it up. You have an open hip now as you slide the right foot down the mat. Left knee stacks over left ankle. So if you check out the right hip, notice if it's lifting like you have a slope. If you do, drop into the left knee and see if you can get your hips level. Your gaze is over your left middle finger. Good, and flip the palms, reverse. So as you reverse, you're lengthening the whole left side body, but there's a lift in the right. So you feel this lift here versus collapsing. Extended side angle. This left hand can go to a block, a book, a soup can. So you can be here, and you feel this whole right side body rolling open. Or you bring the left hand to the mat, or the left forearm to the thigh. If your left forearm is to the thigh, notice the shoulder. Push back and push through the forearm. Take a nice big inhale here, cartwheel everything down, square it off in a high lunge. Drop the right knee, uncurl the toes. We're just gonna stretch. Inhale, arms overhead. If you want, you can bring the heels of the hands to the low back and feel a little back bend here. And nice big inhale, plant the hands, push the hips back, and a little half splits. Finding that breath, draw in through the nose and out through the nose. So not only do we have a foundation in our yoga practice, but in most areas of life, the way in which we communicate, the way in which we signal our affection for one another. Whether it be through body language, verbal communication, song. Take a nice big inhale. We're going to plant the left foot. And then that right foot is going to float for a standing split. Now if you lift up out of the left hip, that right leg will get higher. And then bring that right foot to meet the left. Sweep the arms up overhead. And then exhale, hands to your heart, just pause. Sweeping arms up overhead, nice big inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart, long spine forward fold. Go ahead and step that left foot back. Find your foundation, maybe it's heel to heel. Right knee stacks over the right ankle. And then we inhale our warrior one. And again, grab onto your hips, see where they're at. The right hip pulls back, the left goes forward. The tailbone shoots to the mat. The shoulders stack over the hips. You feel that left pinky toe on the mat. Then on your next big inhale, open it up, warrior two. So we have an open hip now. So if you were to think of your warrior three, that is a closed hip. And now this is an open hip like a half moon. Again, you can grab your hip bones, grab your shoulders, draw them back, and stack them over the hips. As you flip the palms in reverse, lengthening the right side body, but keeping a lift out of the left. And then this right hand plants to the block, the floor, or forearm to the thigh. So again, if your forearm's to the thigh, roll the shoulder back, push through the forearm. Feel that whole left side body roll open and open up. Take a nice big inhale, cartwheel everything down. You're squaring it off. It's a high lunge. Drop the left knee, uncurl the toes. Inhale, arms up overhead. So you can stay here, or bring the heels of the hands to the low back. Fingertips point to the head, and you lift. Take a nice big inhale, push the hips back and half splits. Drawing the breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Maybe draw that right hip back a little further. So if I gave you a pen, and I asked you to write a love note to yourself, to a stranger, what would it say? Take a nice big inhale. We're going to plant that right foot now and find a standing split. So you float the left foot towards the ceiling. Again, lifting out of the right hip. If you want, you can stick your thumb in the hip joint. You can feel it. And that left foot finds the right. Inhaling a halfway lift. As you exhale, forward fold. Better rise with the breath. So the arms up overhead. Exhaling, hands to your heart. And just pause. We're going to root down on that left foot and bring the right in for a tree. So your tree can be anywhere from the heel to the calf to above the knee. So if you aren't sure if you're a hyperextender, that means that the knee is pushing back past the ankle. You want to feel the leg, the muscles engage. You want to feel everything lift up. Again, you can grab your hips. You should be level, those hip bones. Your left knee should actually be soft. So you're using the muscles to lift you versus relying on the joint to support you. Again, building that strong foundation. So soften the jaw. Maybe you float the tongue. You can keep the hands at your heart or inhale your arms up overhead. Now when you're ready, that right foot's going to plant. We're going to shift the weight and inhale the left. Again, engaging that right leg, softening the right knee to use the muscles to lift us. Grab onto your hips, shoulders stack, draw down the back, you lift the chest, and you find your expression. Whether it's been through written word or pictures, hieroglyphics, we communicate. We express to one another nice big inhale, that left hand finds, or that left foot finds the right. Sweep the arms up overhead. Exhaling, hands to your heart, long spine forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. We're gonna step back on that right foot once more, and now just push the hips back. So here is our pyramid. Now, we're looking for 2 straight legs. So some of us will have a wider stance or a shorter stance. The other thing is that we're looking for that long spine. So if you need to use your blocks or books or soup cans, they're right here, blocks stacked underneath the shoulders. On your next big inhale, bring those right fingertips forward, and then plant the right hand to the left block, or to the inside or outside of the left foot. As you push through the block, lengthen out the right fingertips as you draw the left hip back. Take a nice big inhale, then forward fold, back into your pyramid. So you inhale, take a halfway lift, micro bend in that left knee, and let the right foot find the left. This time we're going to step back on the left foot and find your pyramid, long spine, and you can have your blocks or just forward fold. You're drawing your right hip back. So as you draw the right hip back, it's squaring off the hips. That breath draws in through the nose and out through the nose. And as you inhale, left fingertips forward, creating some length and space in the spine. This left hand's going to plant to the inside or outside of the right foot. As you push through, pull the ribs and pull the belly in, draw the right hip back, and take your twist. Take a nice big inhale, exhale, forward fold, back into your pyramid. As you inhale, halfway lift, little micro bend, and that left foot finds the right. As you inhale, halfway lift, heel toe the feet out, so heels on the mat, toes off, and we're going to come into a goddess. So we're going to come high, so that the hips and the knees are in line. Draw the shoulders down the back, knees forward. So in yoga classes, when we take crow, goddess can be your modification. It could be the alternative to your crow. But a nice big inhale here, plant that left hand, and then inhale, right fingertips towards the ceiling. Notice you're rolling the shoulders open, they stack, and your gaze is towards the ceiling. Plant that right hand where the left is, and then inhale, left fingertips towards the ceiling. Stacking the shoulders, find the gaze. And then the left hand finds the right, heel toe the feet back together. Inhaling, halfway lift, long spine, and exhale, forward fold. You can hang out here in your forward fold, maybe a ragdoll. Maybe a shoulder rinse. As you release the hands to the mat, inhale, take a halfway lift, and then have a seat. Bringing your feet together in Baddha Konasana. And then maybe walk your hands forward. As you walk your hands back up towards your body, the right leg is going to go out to the right as you bring the left in. So we're going to walk the hands forward first. Those right toes are pointing towards the ceiling. As you find that connection to the breath, you're drawing it in through the nose and out through the nose. Maybe you have an expression of love that is bubbling up towards the surface. A love note that you'd like to send, or a note of appreciation, of gratitude. Reaching out to someone, maybe that you haven't talked to in a while. Just saying, how are you? I was thinking of you. As you walk your hands up towards your body, we're going to bring the left hand and reach for the right foot. So if you have a strap, you can use the strap to grab the foot. Or if you don't have a strap, notice the armpit. So we want this armpit going towards the ceiling. So even if you can't grab the foot, just roll the armpit up. Take a nice big inhale, plant that left hand to the outside of the left hip, and you're going to lift the seat. So now you're taking a front body stretch. As you drop the hips to the mat, bring that right foot in, and then the left foot goes out. Walking your hands forward first, left toes towards the ceiling. You walk your hands up towards your body. And then that right hand reaches for the left foot. Again, rolling that armpit towards the ceiling. Take a nice big inhale. You're going to plant that right hand to the outside of the right hip and lift. As you release your hands, your hips down to the mat, finding Baddha Konasana once more, and then walking the hands forward. As you walk your hands back up towards your body, you're going to plant the left foot and cross the right over. So our seated pigeon. Now notice the shoulders. You're going to draw the shoulders down the back, lift the chest. Now you can stay here, or you can come down to the mat, bring that left knee in, and find a reclined pigeon. Flatten out the back of the head by gazing down. Notice the lungs are fully expanding and then contracting. So on that exhale a little more. The echo of the breath is the residual that is left in the lungs. And on your next inhale, we're going to switch. So the left is going to cross over the right, no matter if you're seated or reclined. Your feet are flexed and active. Remember, as you exhale, pushing the breath out a little further, completely emptying the lungs, finding that echo. And when you're ready, extend both feet towards the ceiling. And then plant the feet. Inhaling the hips towards the ceiling in our bridge. So the gaze is at the top of your shirt, the hips are lifting forward up towards the ceiling. And slowly lower down, drawing the knees into the chest. And the arms up to teeth. Bringing the knees to the right, the head to the left. As you come back to the center, and then the knees to the left and the head to the right. And as you come back to the center, plant the feet once more, lift the hips towards the ceiling. Releasing the hips back to the mat. Drawing the knees into the chest. Arms up to teeth. And those knees to the left and the head to the right. As you come back through the center. And then over to the right. And head to the left. Extend that right foot out. And then the left. Finding your Shavasana. Taking a few moments here. And just be still. Drawing knees back into the chest, and then slowly rolling up to sit. Drawing hands to your heart, and then thumb knuckles to your third eye. As we take 3 deep inhalations and exhalations, we connect the breath with the body. We honor our practice. We honor our journey of self-discovery. And as we move through the course of our day, notice the ideas, the thoughts. Write them down. Write a love note. Send it in the mail. Let someone know you are thinking of them.